In this exercise, we're going to generate 10 random numbers and calculate the average of those numbers. So first we're going to append them to a list and then go through and do the calculation. So let's go ahead and get beginning. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is to import the random library. So I'll write a comment here and I'm going to go import random. Our inputs are going to be, we really don't have any inputs because the random number generator is going to create that for us, but we do have some calculations that we need to do, and it's basically to have the sum and also the average. So let's go sum of numbers, and I'm going to initially set this out to be 0, and also average is going to be equal to 0.0 because we're going to make that a float. Okay, we're going to be having we're going to generate 10 random integers. So the first thing I need to do is to actually create them and append them to my data set. So I'm going to create a variable, and this is a data set, and I'm going to set it equal to the empty, to be basically an empty list. And now for I in range, we can if we want to go from 0 to 20, this will give us 20 numbers, or actually we wanted 10 numbers. So let's give us 10 numbers. And in each case, when we go through this 10 times, we really want to do x equals random int, and we want to generate a number. Let's generate a number between 1 and 20. Actually 1 and 20, so that gives us up to between 1 and up to 21. So that's going to be a random number between 1 and 20. And now I want to take that and append it to my data set. So this is, I'm going to write some comments here. Create empty data set, then append random numbers. So again, okay, so now I have a data set that has created, has gone through using this for loop and gone through and created 10 random numbers and appended them to this data set. So the next thing I can do is just loop through, and let's just take a look at these. For I in data set, let's just go ahead and look at the values and see where this gets us. Okay, so let's try this. This is a good point. I'm going to save it, code S, save it as random 10. It's going to be random 10 numbers, and then let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so here's our 10 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they're all between 1 and 20. Okay, so that generated it exactly what we wanted to do, and so now I can continue on and actually increment my value. So I'm going to have sum of numbers equals sum of numbers plus the value for each of the elements here is I, and that's going to give me a total sum. And now at this point, I've got my full list I can print out, and now I can calculate average. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate and print the average. So now my average is going to equal the sum of the numbers, okay, but I want to convert this to a float. Why? Because the sum of numbers is a bunch of sum of integers, so that's going to be an integer, but I want the average to be, okay, sum of numbers. Let's make sure I get this correct. Sum of numbers. Okay, so I want that to be a float because I want to convert this to a float and then similarly convert the float. Now I know exactly how many I've done, 10 integers, but even to make it a little bit better, I can put in the length of the data set. That will give us the number in case we want to adjust this, and that should give us the average here. So now I just need to print the average. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Save this first, and then run it. And here's our code. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 random numbers and an average of 8.8. So let's run it. Let's run it one more time, and let's run it again here. And now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers and a different average of 11.5. So basically we have done our problem. We've generated Let's pull up the program again. We've imported the library, we've initialized our sum and our average, we've looped through, created the 10 numbers, and now we're looping through the data set that has the 10 numbers because we've appended it, and we're calculating the sum and printing out all the numbers and then calculating the average there at the base. So that concludes this problem. Thank you.